tell me about Saturday. What happened on Saturday?
On Saturday, I went to a bakery to taste test for my wedding cake, and my fiance and I were really excited because it's cake and he was really excited. But when we got there, the baker asked us where our venue was, and I said Roseland Plantation, and she said, "Oh, honey, I had a bride in here 2 weeks ago or so who has a wedding scheduled in January there, and they told her they were going out of business." And I said, "That's impossible. They would have, Jennifer Rhodes, the girl that's been helping us, the wedding coordinator out there, would have called me and told me." And so right in the middle of the meeting for the cake, I picked up my cell phone and called Jennifer, and I called 2 or 3 times and she didn't answer. So I left a voicemail and said, "Jennifer, it's Courtney. I heard a rumor that you're closing, and you haven't called and told me. I hope it's just a rumor." And then my fiance and I drove over there, and we're from out of town. I live in Dallas and he lives in Arkansas. So when we come down to do wedding stuff, we do a few things. We don't just, and we're in town for, the entire day. And we drove out there, and while we got there, she was getting in her car with a girl and then a young boy, and they were about to leave, and then she got out and she ran in her house or in the bed and breakfast, and then got back out. And I was nice to her at first. I said, I was nice the entire time. I said, "Happy Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and I heard a rumor that you're closing." And she said, "Yes, it is true." And she said, "We're going to send out a formal letter soon. I don't know how you found out." And she said that they were having a garage sale to make money back that they've lost. And I said, "We need to explain all this to my parents, who've been paying you every month since February."
Oh, okay.
And I put her on the phone with my mom, and then I turned and I was crying, talking to my fiance, trying to figure out what we're gonna do. And I turned to her while she was on the phone with my mom and said, "You have to pay us back. And, you have to pay my parents back." And she smirked and kind of had a little smile on her face and said, "That's what bankruptcy is. We don't have to pay you back anything."
But you are going to make, some attempts to, get these brides their money back, their families their money back?
Do the best we can.
Are y'all filing for bankruptcy?
I don't know yet.
Okay. Is the property in foreclosure?
Not yet.
Not yet, but is that something that's looming?
You can do the legal legwork.
Okay. How much have your parents put down?
They've total paid $10,947.
And they've been paying on this since
February. The first payment was received February 26th, and that was just the down payment of $1,000.
Okay.
And then March they paid $1,421. April, same amount. Or May, and all together, and so we saw that September. This is an invoice that Roseland kept sending us every month with our updated payments. Okay. And then in October they didn't send us one, so my mom double checked and went and looked and found the check number was check 8288, and it's to Roseland Plantation. It's got my mom's.
It looks like it's been cashed.
And it's been cashed and we know that because here's my mom's bank statement that we printed out, and right here it says check 8288, 1019, amount 1421.
So what are your plans now?
I'm going on missions work.
Missions work for?
The Lord.
Okay. Well, that's good, but I mean, what are we going to do for these brides that have spent, in some instances?
They're going to have to wait their turn. I don't know. You have to wait until the finances settle, and you have to do the best you can. I recognize, and you can put this in the paper, I recognize that a wedding is a once-in-a-lifetime thing. A wedding facility going out of business is not the same as a donut shop going out of business. A wedding is a big deal. I recognize that. And we're acting accordingly. But I cannot tell you anything more than that, because you're a newspaper. There are the things that you just don't say publicly.
For the young ladies that were supposed to get married in December, what happens? Because their weddings just...
There were no weddings in December.
There were no weddings at all coming up
No
in December?
weddings booked, and all the money has been refunded for all the immediate weddings.
Okay.
And all the immediate weddings are all covered.
All right. For the young ladies who have paid to get married in the spring and in the summer, what about their money?
As I said, we're making arrangements.
We found this out on Saturday, and on Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, I was so excited because I got my save the dates done, and they're here. And
those aren't on paper. What is that?
These are my grandmother's handkerchiefs that were kind of like family heirlooms, if you will. And some of them my mom and I collected, and some of them are from my grandmother. And we were trying to do something a little unique. And if you can see, it says Saturday, June 2nd, Tyler, Texas, and now there's no wedding right now on June 2nd. And I don't know what we're gonna do. We don't. Most places are booked up by now.
Is that a picture? You're holding a couple of pictures.
Yeah, this is my fiance.
And what's his name?
His name's Jake Brokaw.
All right. And how long have you guys been together?
We started dating when we were junior or seniors in college.
Okay.
So,
and why do you, if you live in Dallas, how come you're wanting to get married in Tyler?
I grew up in Tyler. I'm a Tyler native. I was born at Mother Francis. I lived here with my mom and dad. My mom's from Van, and my dad is from Wills Point, and they raised me here in Tyler. I went to church. I went to elementary school here, and then my family still, my grandparents still live here, and and then we moved to Nebraska, and when I was 11, and then I wanted to have my wedding, and now I live in Dallas and work in Dallas with my parents live in Dallas, and I wanted to have my wedding here because this is my home. This is where I grew up.
What's plan B?
I don't have a plan B right now. I mean, how can you have a plan B when your parents have already shelled out over $10,000 for a wedding that's not going to happen? I can't ask my parents to spend any more money. Now,
you've volunteered to pay back your folks.
Yeah, I know I didn't take it, and that's what, my parents paid all this for me and lost all this for me, and last night I wrote my dad a check for $1,000, and I don't have, I'm young, I don't have a whole life savings built up or anything, so that's a pretty hefty chunk of my paycheck every month, but I wrote him a check for $1,000, and my dad ripped it up and told me no. And whether or not they'll accept it, I'm gonna try. If Roseland does not pay us back, I'm gonna make it up to my parents one way or another, because they were trying to give me the wedding of my dreams, and now it's all gone.
Who are your parents?
Jed and Tammy Heron.
Okay, and they're from East Texas?
Yeah, my dad grew up in Wills Point, and my mom grew up in Van. My grandparents still live in Van. That's why I wanted to have the wedding at Roseland, because it's close to my grandparents, and they can't travel far.
You've had this place, what, about a year and a half now?
4 years.
4 years? Have you made any money on it at all since you've had it, or?
I have not drawn a single cent of salary in 4 years.
Okay. Well, the people that owned it before, they were successful for a while. I mean, do you think it was the economy that hit in 2008 that caused the business to kind of fall down here?
Partial. Our plans were to make this into the best wedding venue in East Texas, which, by the way, we have done. And please put this in your paper. Please put this in your paper. We have won best bed and breakfast in East Texas for the past 6 years going, including the 4 years that we've owned it. Since we purchased it, we've won the best wedding venue in East Texas twice, including in 2010. We're very proud of that. We're very proud of the way we deal with our brides.
Just unfortunate circumstances.
It is just unfortunate circumstances, and we're doing the best we can with the brides.